All right, let's dive into something truly powerful today. We're going to be talking all about a concept called orgasmic runness. And no, we're not just talking about a single fleeting moment. We're talking about something much deeper, something that's actually your most authentic, fundamental nature. And we're going to start with a pretty big question. I mean, really think about that for a second. What if that feeling of joy, of delight, of just pure ease, what if that wasn't some special treat you get once in a while? What if that was your default setting? The source material we're looking at today says that it is. And to really get how, we first have to make one really important distinction. Okay, so let's break this down because this is the absolute core of everything we're going to talk about. We're all taught to think about pleasure as an event, an orgasm, a peak, a destination you're trying to get to. But orgasmicness, that's totally different. It's a state of being. It's like having your internal volume knob turned way up all the time. It's your readiness to give a full-body yes to life at any moment. It's the journey itself, not just the final stop. So now that we've got that straight, event versus a state of being, let's go a little deeper. What does this state of being, this authentic nature, actually feel like? And, how does it even work inside your body? I absolutely love this metaphor. Think about your body right now as an electrical circuit. All that stress, the shame, the tension we carry around, that's like resistance in the wires. It blocks the energy, it dims the lights. Orgasmicness is what happens when you clear out all that resistance. Suddenly, that current of delight, whether it's from a great cup of coffee, the feel of a soft blanket, or a big win at work, it can flow right through you and light you up completely. And here's what happens when you're living in that resistance-free state. Your cup isn't just full. It is literally overflowing. And that overflow, that's your authentic charisma. It's that magnetic, radiant quality you see in some people. You know what I'm talking about. And you can't fake it, you can't imitate it, because it's not something you do. It's a genuine spillover of your own inner fullness. Okay, so this isn't just some poetic idea. This is real. It's neurophysiology. Let's get into the chemistry of it. When you tap into this state, your body literally creates its own internal cocktail, this beautiful biochemical rain of positive, healing hormones. Your body is designed to produce this incredible mix. You've got oxytocin, which gives you that feeling of centered, calm power and deep connection. Then there's dopamine, which fuels your ambition and makes you feel rewarded and motivated. Prolactin brings that deep, soul-level feeling that all is well, a real sense of peace. And then, of course, endorphins, your body's own natural painkiller, which literally melts tension and inflammation away. So when you put all that together, the effect is just profound. When you regularly dip into this internal pharmacy of yours, you actually change your baseline. You build this buffer, this energetic shield that protects you from stress, right down to your cells. Your good mood isn't dependent on what's happening outside of you anymore. It comes from the inside out. Of course, you might be thinking, well, if this is so great and so natural, why aren't we all walking around like this all the time? And that's a fair question. The truth is, there are some very real, but often invisible barriers we need to look at and start taking apart. You know that feeling? A lot of women carry this deep subconscious fear of truly letting go, a fear of losing control. But what if that feeling of losing your mind isn't what you think it is? What if it's just that exact moment when your inner critic, that nagging voice of self-doubt and judgment, finally goes quiet? In that silence, you don't lose yourself, you find your most authentic self. And let's just be really direct about where a lot of these fears come from. This quote from our source, Alina Chamberlain, it says it all, doesn't it? For centuries, this idea that a woman's pleasure is somehow wrong or shameful or dirty has been used to keep feminine power in check. Just seeing that myth for what it is, a control tactic, is a massive first step in breaking free from it. So let's just throw out that old toxic myth and replace it with a biological truth. Your capacity for pleasure isn't some flaw you need to manage. It's a feature. It's actually one of the highest indicators of a healthy, vital, thriving nervous system. It's a sign that your body is in a state of absolute well-being. And this brings us right to the incredible, tangible, physical healing that happens when you embrace this state. Your body basically has two main operating modes, right? And it turns out, delight is the key. It's what switches you out of stress and into a state of deep, deep healing. Think of it like this. When you're stressed, your body goes into war mode. It's preparing for fight or flight. It's pure survival. But pleasure Pleasure is the signal to your brain that says, hey, we're safe, the war is over. And that is the only signal that can instantly flip the switch into regeneration mode, where all the important work, the cell repair, the cleansing, the deep healing, can finally happen. And the physical benefits are just incredible. The rhythmic contractions that happen when you experience delight, they create this powerful pumping action that cleanses your whole lymphatic system, your body's internal aquarium of toxins. And the warmth that spreads through your body has this literal melting effect on old, stubborn knots of tension, releasing all that vital energy that was trapped inside. Okay, get ready for this because this is just mind-blowing. At the ends of your chromosomes, you have these little protective caps called telomeres. And as we get older, they naturally get shorter. But new research is suggesting that by regularly entering these states of ecstasy and deep pleasure, you can actually affect the length of your telomeres, which could literally slow down the biological aging process. Amazing, right? So this all sounds pretty fantastic, in theory. But how do you actually do it? How do you start to bring this state into your real day-to-day life? Well, let's walk through a super simple but really powerful practice you can start today. This is all about training your nervous system, and it's easier than you think. First, just scan your body and find one tiny pleasant feeling. Maybe it's the warmth in your hands or the softness of your sweater. Second, just breathe into it. Imagine your breath is gently fanning that little flame of pleasure, helping it grow. Third, after any moment of joy during your day, don't just rush to the next thing. Stop. Be still for a few minutes and really let that feeling sink in. Tell your body, this is my new normal. And finally, take that warmth you've built up and mentally direct it to any part of you that feels tense. Just imagine it melting that tension away. I really want to leave you with this idea because it's the most important takeaway. We've been taught to see our pleasure as an indulgence, a luxury, a reward we have to earn after all the hard work is done. But what if that's all wrong? What if tending to your own pleasure, filling your own cup until it overflows, is actually your highest responsibility? Because it's from that place of fullness that you bring your best, most powerful, most authentic self to the world. And so that's the final question, really. If you could let go of the fear, let go of the shame, and just allow yourself to live in your natural, orgasmic state, if you gave life a full-throated, unconditional yes, what would you choose? What would you create? What would you dare to become? That answer, that's your power, just waiting for you to claim it.